Yo Shmupers, it's Vinu. Today we're talking about Devil Blade Reboot, which was released on May 24, 2024, exclusively on Steam. It's an indie shmup, or doujin in Japanese, developed by a single person, Shigatake. Originally a graphic designer, best known for his work with Vanillaware. He's contributed to almost all their titles since the PS2 era, starting with Grim Grimoire and Odin Sphere, followed by Muramasa on Wii, Dragon's Crown on PS3 and 4, and most recently the stunning Unicorn Overlord. The insane 2D graphics are what makes this studio famous, so this guy is an absolute master in his field. In early 2018, Shigatake decided to bring Devil Blade to modern systems using Shooting Game Builder, working on it only in his free time. He managed to complete it after 6 years of work and I think quite a few sleepless nights. Now you're probably thinking, wait, it's a port? Yes, the game originally came out in 1996 on PS1. And now you're probably thinking, but I never heard of a shmup called Devil Blade on PS1. Well, that's because it was created using the shmup creation software Daziamon Plus, which was only released in Japan. This series has numerous episodes, starting on a Famicom in 1991 and continuing on the Super Famicom, PS1, Saturn, PSP, PS Vita and even the Nintendo 64. So it's not a standalone game, which is why you've probably never heard of it. As mentioned earlier, this reboot version was entirely developed using Shooting Game Builder, a powerful tool that allows you to create and distribute shoot 'em ups without any programming knowledge required, all for less than $20. Available on Steam and widely used by many developers, especially Japanese ones, you've probably already played one of their games like Grace Counter, Kaikan, Grand Cross Renovation and even Android Juniors 2. There is also another tool called Shmup Creator, created by the French team Boulot Studio. It's also very advanced and allows for the creation of all types of shmups. It's incredible what we can do in 2025. If you want to create a shmup, I highly recommend using one of those two tools instead of coding everything from scratch. It will allow you to focus more on your game and your creativity rather than dealing with coding issues. I know some developers using Unreal Engine or Unity, but it seems less time efficient for shoot 'em up. By the way, if you have experience with this, feel free to share it in the comments. I think it could be a really interesting topic. Sorry for the little digression, but I'm genuinely impressed by this game engines. Devil Blade Reboot offers simple yet effective gameplay. You have one weapon with a spread shot and a second one with a more concentrated one that slows down your ship. You can easily switch between those two on the fly with a single button press. You can also pick up bombs and a shield that absorb one hit. No power-ups or other unnecessary stuff like that. That's something I really appreciate. Graphically, it's incredibly stylish with that pixelated orange tone that gives the game a unique charm. The game lasts about 20 minutes through 6 stages, with the last one being just the true last boss. We don't waste time with a score of screens for ages between stages, but rather have a sublime transition, allowing a very smooth flow to the next one, keeping you completely immersed. The particle effects and other visuals are also beautiful, with some really cool light reflections and the explosions feel impactful. The pacing is fast throughout the game. There might be a slight dip in pace during stage 4 with a big mothership reminiscent of R-Type, which is a bit more static. Some enemies and bosses have classic designs but are always stylish, with several phases, sometimes very original in their patterns and fun to fight. The level design is excellent and there is a well-executed feature that shows the trajectories of lasers and the landing spot of missiles. This adds a special touch to the game and allows you to anticipate dodges even if you're not familiar with the stage, which is very important. It's also very accessible. I managed to one-life the normal mode on my third attempt and 1cc the hard retro mode on my first try. But unlike many titles I often complain about being too easy and boring, Here I had a blast, because it requires dodging, there is a rhythm and a real challenge. In normal mode, between each bomb thrown, you regain a shield, and if you have 2 bombs or fewer, you always start the next stage with a 3, which simplifies the game a lot. It's a great thing because it motivates less experienced players to attempt a 1cc while still playing strategically and managing their resources. Unlike some shooters where it's so slow and there is nothing to dodge. Here you actually feel proud of your 1cc and that's really satisfying. There is also an easy mode, but it's way too simple, so I wouldn't recommend it even if you're a beginner. Hard mode is great, with more intense patterns and you don't regain your shield between each bomb. I recommend this for more experienced players. And finally there is Inferno. This is no joke. No shield, no bombs, and you die if you don't activate Berserk mode often enough. This brings us to the scoring system. In the top left corner of the screen, you will see a Berserk percentage. Once it exceeds 100, you enter Berserk mode, which increases enemy health and attacks, but multiplies your score multiplier by 5. To increase your Berserk percentage and score multiplier, you need to kill enemies as close as possible to your ship. You can see the different multiplier zones represented by blue circles that appear around the ship as you get closer to enemies. Holding down the bomb button won't launch a bomb but will activate boost mode, making your Berserk percentage increase 5 times faster for a short period. This is a crucial aspect of the scoring system. You will need to sacrifice bombs at strategic points to maximize your score. Simple to understand but difficult to master. You also get small bonuses at the end of each stage, like an enormous reward or based on a percentage of enemies destroyed. The scoring system and all the game's basics are well explained in game. Even though I'm not usually a fan of scoring systems, I had a blast. Once you 1cc the game, you will really want to come back to improve your score, and your only goal becomes to stick as close as possible to enemies while activating boost mode to reach thousands of %. There is also a retro mode that can be unlocked with points earned each time you finish a level. The higher the difficulty, the more points you earn. With these points there is a ton of stuff to buy, like original and retro soundtracks, the retro mode, training mode, wallpapers and other small extras. I was a bit worried it would be a grind that will take many hours, but no, it's all unlocked pretty quickly honestly. After just a few sessions you will have everything. The retro mode is even shorter, wrapping up in just over 10 minutes with only 5 levels, but it's incredibly fun, fast-paced and different from the reboot. That's when you realize it's not just an HD port of the original game, but actually a full remake, almost a new game. Do not miss out this mode. It's fantastic, with lots of great ideas and was a pleasant surprise. The 5th stage is amazing. As for the sound, it's top-notch. The energetic music fits perfectly with the game, whether it's a reboot or retro version. The digital voices are fun and add that little extra charm, and the sound effects are great. As for the drawbacks, I would say some things outside the game itself could be more polished. For example, they explain all the mods except for hard. I don't know why. There is only one replay which gets overwritten every time, and it always says you've done an all clear even if you haven't, along with a few other little details like that. But don't worry, nothing too bothersome, and I guess most of them have already been patched. There is no Tate mode, but you can adjust various settings like the color and intensity of the proximity cycle around your ship. There is no online leaderboard directly in the game, only local scores, although the Steam leaderboard is still available. As you can already tell from this thorough review, I 100% recommend Devil Blade Reboot. Finally a title that is for everyone. Neither boring nor too difficult for beginners, always keeping the player motivated to progress with a sense of accomplishment once the 1cc is achieved. From there, you can move on to a higher level of difficulty, which is high quality and well crafted, or focus on the scoring system. The game and level design are top-notch, the graphics are full of charms and unique, visually stunning yet perfectly readable, with spectacular transitions between stages. Plus, there are nice little nods to other titles like Radiant Silvergun or Rayforce, all complemented by a well-crafted soundtrack. This map really have a special vibe, it's refreshing. Big shout out to the retro mode, which shouldn't be underestimated. It offers a different, more old-school experience with a lot of charm. An excellent job done by a solo developer in his free time for around $15 on Steam. I'm hoping for a release on consoles so everyone can enjoy this gem. Go ahead and buy it. It's a must-have for any Shmup fan. With that, I will see you next time and have fun playing Devil Blade Reboot. Ciao Shmupers!